Watch, be wakeful, pray, be ready, be prepared, and stay alert. From Matthew 24:37-51. But as the days of Noah, so also will be the coming of the Son of Man. For as they were in the days before the flood, eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage, until the day when Noah went into the ark. And they did not know until the flood came and took all away. So also will be the coming of the Son of Man. At that time 2 will be out in the field, the one is taken away and the one is left. 2 grinding at the mill, one is taken away and one is left. Watch then, for you do not know in what hour your Lord comes. But know this, that if the housemaster had known in what watch the thief comes, he would have watched and not allowed his house to be dug through. Because of this, you also be ready, for in that hour you think not, the Son of Man comes. Who then is the faithful and wise servant whom his Lord has set over his household, to give to them the food in season? Blessed is that servant whom his Lord shall find so doing when he comes. Truly I say to you, he will set him over all his substance. But if that wicked slave says in his heart, my Lord delays to come, and begins to beat his fellow servants, and to eat and to drink with the ones drinking, the Lord of that slave will come in a day in which he does not expect, and in an hour which he does not know, and will cut him in two, and will appoint his portion with the hypocrites. There will be weeping and gnashing of the teeth. And from Matthew 25:13-30, therefore watch, for you do not know the day nor the hour in which the Son of Man comes. For it is as if a man going abroad called his own slaves and delivered his goods to them. And to one indeed he gave 5 talents, and to another 2, and to another 1, to each according to his ability. And he went abroad at once, and going, the one who received the 5 talents worked with them and made another 5 talents. In the same way, the one with the 2 talents also did. He also gained another 2. But going away, the one who received the 1 dug in the earth and hid his Lord's silver. But after much time, the Lord of those slaves came and took account with them. And coming up, the one who received 5 talents brought another 5 talents near, saying, Lord, you delivered 5 talents to me. Behold, I gained another 5 talents above them. And his Lord said to him, Well done, good and faithful slave. You were faithful over a few things. I will set you over many. Enter into the joy of your Lord. And the one who received 2 talents also coming up, he said, Lord, you delivered 2 talents to me. Behold, I have gained 2 other talents above them. His Lord said to him, Well done, good and faithful slave. You were faithful over a few things. I will set you over many. Enter into the joy of your Lord. And the one who received the 1 talent also coming up, he said, Lord, I knew you, that you are a hard man, reaping where you did not sow, and gathering where you did not scatter. And being afraid, going away, I hid your talent in the earth. Behold, you have yours. And answering, his Lord said to him, Evil and slothful slave, you knew that I reap where I did not sow, and I gather where I did not scatter. Then you ought to have put my silver to the bankers, and coming I would have received mine own with interest. Therefore, Take the talent from him and give it to him who has the 10 talents. For to each who has, more will be given, and he will abound. But from him who does not have, even that which he has will be taken from him. And throw the worthless slave out into the outer darkness. There will be weeping and gnashing of the teeth. And from Mark 13:33 to 37. Watch, be wakeful, and pray, for you do not know when the time is. As a man going away, leaving his house, and giving his slaves authority, and to each his work, and he commanded the doorkeeper that he watch. Then you watch, for you do not know when the Lord of the house is coming, at evening, or at midnight, or at cock crowing, or early, so that he might not come suddenly and find you sleeping. And what I say to you, I say to all, watch. And from Luke 18:1-8. And he also spake a parable to them to teach it is always right to pray, and not to faint, saying, a certain judge was in a certain city, not fearing God and not respecting man, and a widow was in that city, and she came to him, saying, avenge me from my adversary. And for a time he would not. But after these things he said to himself, even if I do not fear God and do not respect man, yet because this widow caused me trouble, I will avenge her, that not coming to the end she wear me down. And the Lord said, hear what the unrighteous judge says. And will not God not at all execute the avengement of his elect, those crying to him day and night, also having been long suffering over them? I say to you that he will carry out the avengement of them speedily. But the Son of Man coming then, will he find faith on the earth? There is no doubt that Jesus will find faith when he comes back. He gets his 5 wise virgins according to Matthew 25. So Jesus speaks in Luke 18:8 about when he comes back from heaven after the resurrection. But Luke 18:1-8 is still good verses about prayer. Luke 21:34-36. But take heed to yourselves that your hearts not be loaded down with headaches, and drinking and anxieties of life, and that day comes suddenly upon you as a snare, for it will come in on all those sitting on the face of the earth. Then be watchful at every time, begging that you be counted worthy to escape all these things, the things being about to happen, and to stand before the Son of Man. And from Mark 4:23-25, if anyone has ears to hear, let him hear. And he said to them, be careful what you hear. With what measure you measure, it will be measured to you, and more will be given to you the ones hearing. For whoever may have, more will be given to him, and the one who does not have, even what he has, will be taken from him. So, will Jesus find faith when he comes back? It is clear. Luke 18:8 cannot be used as if Jesus is in doubt concerning he will find faith on earth when he comes back to get his bride. If Jesus was in doubt, it was about when he came back from the dead. And scripture clearly shows that he didn't find faith, but unbelief and doubt. Jesus knows he finds faith when he comes back, and we must not doubt this. We should not use the few passages that speaks about the negative things in the end times to shadow over the positive things that should and must happen. as for the instance that the believer's unity of faith. It is clear that it is warned about many negative things in the end times, and these we have certainly experienced in 1900 years. This does not take away all the good promises, glorious promises, relating the time before Jesus fetches his bride. He shall bruise Satan under our feet. This is under the believers who are living when Jesus fetches his bride. Prophets and these preachers of the good news and these shepherds and teachers, Jesus does not rapture a whore, but a perfect bride being perfected by them. Really, apostles and these prophets and these preachers of the good news and these shepherds and teachers, we have wonderful promises relating to our time, and it is through these promises we partake of the divine nature. And we need all of these major and precious promises. It is obvious that nevertheless, when the Son of Man is come, will he find faith on earth, not apply to when he fetches his bride. Do you think he is thinking to marry an unbelieving bride? It is quite clear that there are believers who believe on the earth when Jesus fetches his bride. This is perhaps one of the most obvious topics in the New Testament. We also know that he did not find faith when he met his disciples after the resurrection. They doubted even after 40 days with him. And we know that when Jesus went up to heaven with his blood, before he came back to earth to be with his disciples for 40 days. John 20:17. Jesus said to her, "Do not touch me, for I have not yet gone up to my Father, but go to my brethren and say unto them, I ascend to my Father and to your Father, and my God and their God." After that he went to the tabernacle of heaven, which the earthly was an image of, and into the holiest with the blood. Then he came and walked with the people for 40 days, and they could touch him before he sat down at the Father's right hand. Yes, when Jesus comes back, it is not just faith, it is unity of faith. Jesus does not rapture his bride before Ephesians 4:13 until we arrive, we all, to unity of the faith and the knowledge about God's Son, to an accomplished man, to a measure of the fullness of the growth of the anointed. Until then he works, Ephesians 5:25, that he might sanctify it, as he has cleansed it with a bath of the water by a word. Ephesians 5:27, so that he could prepare her for himself as the lovely outcalled, not having spot or wrinkle or any such things, but that it should be holy and without blemish. What a blessed hope! Yes, indeed, of the best promises through which we partake of divine nature. When you get the belief and revelation concerning the true bride, then it becomes divine nature that results in true brotherly love with all brethren.